Now at 6 o'clock, we're still waiting to hear from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on whether or not President Trump can deploy National Guard troops here to Portland. If it does happen, what would that deployment look like? We're going to break it down for you in a live report.
And multiple traffic projects that could affect your commute are starting pretty soon. What you need to know before you head out the door.
Francine, welcome home. Francine, welcome back home.
Francine, I love you dearly.
Who the heck is Francine? I'll tell you, Francine is a cat who went missing. The good news is Francine made it back home. We're going to explain at 6:45 why an entire community in Virginia believes that this cat is so special. The 6 o'clock hour of Sunrise starts right now.
Well, good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Corey Johnson in for China Green today.
And I'm Drew Carney. Let's check in with Rod Hill. Rod, for some reason, when I was watching that cat video,
Francine,
and all the people praising and loving Francine, I was thinking about you during Rod on the Road. Where were you that time when you had all those people? It was all those women who were basically falling over themselves for you.
I remember this.
Is that the Dalles?
That was out in the Dalles. There's a group of women, and they basically greet the cruise ships.
Okay.
As they, come in the Columbia River, and they make port for the day in the Dalles. So the Dalles floozies, I think they call themselves. I was sitting down there. Let me tell you, man. I was getting kissed here. I was getting kissed there.
Yeah. You were the cruise ship that day.
Good morning to you. All right, we've had a little bit of rain pop through our area this morning. Everything is coming from south to north up through the area. It was some light rain that passed Portland, so roads are wet or damp anyway. But right now, the next shot of rain is still south of Salem, so it is dry currently coming into Salem, Portland, and Vancouver. Clouds over the city. 54 is the temperature. Winds are light, so if you're getting ready to leave right now, not bad. But by the time the kids get out to the bus stop, there probably will be some more rain that has moved up into the area. Have the raincoats today. It'll be kind of an on again, off again, passing shot of rain, and then dry time, and then rain. Temperatures in the upper 50s when the kids get out of school. And real quick, there is a thunderstorm threat we will be watching for today as well. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rod. We start this hour of Sunrise with the latest on protests at the ICE facility in South Portland. So this was the scene outside the facility last night around 11 o'clock. Our crew said they saw two people taken into custody by federal agents, although we don't know why. Portland police also told us that they made two arrests last night near the ICE building. One person was arrested for harassment. The other was arrested for a warrant. Both were booked into the Multnomah County Detention Center. Portland police say they've now made a total of 47 arrests in the South Waterfront area since protests began there back in June.
Meanwhile, an appellate court hearing was held yesterday to determine if President Donald Trump can send National Guard troops to Portland.
No ruling has been made by the judges yet. Let's check in with Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz. He joins us live outside the ICE facility. Thomas, if the judges allow, if they do allow the National Guard to be deployed, what exactly would that look like?
Well, guys, we can look to Chicago for some clues. Their troops have been deployed and really, for the most part, have been used to protect federal buildings. They can also be used to protect federal agents like ICE officers. Now, here in Portland, we're waiting on a decision from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to determine whether the Trump administration can send National Guard troops to Portland. President Trump tried to deploy 200 Oregon National Guard troops a couple of weeks ago, but that was blocked by a judge. 2 days after President Trump called up the National Guard, Brigadier General Alan R. Gronewald, the head of Oregon's National Guard, addressed lawmakers, saying troops could be trained in crowd control, but couldn't make arrests.
That Oregon National Guard men and women they serve two purposes: one, to defend America, and two, to protect Oregonians. And so by serving in this mission, they will be protecting any protesters at the ICE facility. That's my desire.
Everything we're doing is very lawful. What they're doing
President Trump says everything his administration is doing is lawful, though in Illinois, a U.S. district judge granted a temporary restraining order against the National Guard that assembled this week. She says she found no rebellion in Chicago. Now, back here in Portland, Gronewald, the Brigadier General there for the Oregon National Guard, says, look, the longest that a National Guard can be deployed here in this situation is 80 days. That can also be shortened, but it can't be any longer than those 80 days. Guys?
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning outside the ICE facility. New this morning, the Multnomah County DA says two Portland police officers were justified in a September shooting. The officers shot 30-year-old Brian Velasco Ruelas after police say he threatened gas station workers with a gun. Body cam video showed him reaching into a vehicle before the officers opened fire. Ruelas survived and now faces multiple charges, including 4 counts of attempted murder.
Oregon State Representative Hoa Nguyen has died after a battle with cancer. Nguyen was the eldest daughter of Vietnamese refugees, attended St. Mary's, and later graduated from Portland State. She was also a teacher and school board member and was first elected to the State House in 2022, representing an area that stretched from East Portland to Damascus. Nguyen was 41 years old.
More news this morning. A crash between a car and a TriMet bus sent 1 person to the hospital. This happened last night at 79th and East Burnside. Portland Fire and Rescue helped the driver get their door open and get out of the car. They were taken to the hospital, although we don't know their condition this morning. We do know that no one was hurt on the bus. A woman was seriously injured after she was hit by a van while sitting on a bench outside the Providence Portland Medical Center in Northeast Portland. This happened around 1:30 yesterday afternoon in the hospital parking lot on Hoyt Street. Police say the driver of the van was trying to park and may have accidentally pushed on the gas pedal. Again, the woman who was hit suffered serious injuries, but she is expected to survive.
Vancouver's Discovery Middle School was briefly put in what's called secure mode on Thursday morning. That's because school officials say a student reportedly threatened staff and may have had a knife, prompting police and district officers to respond. Now, the student was on a bus near the school, and officers quickly separated them from other students. Authorities say no weapons were found. New this morning, Washington County's burn ban is officially over. Fire agencies lifted that ban at midnight, pointing to the recent rainfall in our area.
All right, speaking of the rainfall, let's get to the Rain Man, Rodney Hill. What do you have for us out there, Rod?
By the way, I just checked, the great big Northwest large named fire map and also up into Washington. Just a handful of fires still burning in Oregon right now. And like one of those is the immigrant fire in southeastern Lane County that's burns some 30,000+ acres. Those fires are just going to continue going until we get more rain and more rain, but none of them show any growth and basically no concerning alerts or anything. So fire season overall certainly winding down as you would expect it to this time of the year. Okay, we've got rain moving south to north. You can see it. We've had some lightning this morning outside of Roseburg. We've had some rain pass through Portland in the past hour plus. A few little traceable showers around Portland right now, but really pretty dry Vancouver down through Salem. A reminder that in this light shaded green area, which is the I-5 corridor, we are in the Weather Service's convective outlook today, which means potential thunderstorm developments. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Again, we've had some lightning strikes already about 4 o'clock this morning down around Roseburg. Clouds over the city. Right now it's more dry than not, but the roads are wet from some passing rain that we had. So rain at times, thunderstorm chances today. Not much of any wind unless we get some thunderstorms. And of course, those would kick up gusty conditions. Temperatures you can see here mainly will be in the 50s. Here's a look at the afternoon map. Again, maybe we get 60, maybe we don't in Portland. Pretty dry out east. There's a late day scattered shower threat, but overall partly sunny and pretty nice. 70s in LeGrand and Baker City. 50s though, clouds, rain at times in central Oregon over the Cascades and here on the west side with again that thunderstorm chance. So for the weekend, by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, no longer a storm chance. Tomorrow will be rain at times. Sunday will be rain at times. If the modeling is correct, it will be raining pretty much all of late morning Sunday through the afternoon. Monday, we have lingering showers. After that, it now looks like we go dry starting on Tuesday. Take a look. Yes, that is your 7-day forecast on a Friday.